Hi everyone, and welcome to June and the astrology for June, and with me, Sue from Inspired Messages. So I hope you've had a good May, and wherever you are in the world and whatever you've been doing. And obviously, there's a lot been going on around the world, and we continue on from the last few months, which has been up and down. I think that's an understatement to say the least. It is difficult to keep up with what's happening on a daily basis. Suffice to say, it's all meant to be, I think, as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and as one age goes, it has to be, dismantled. So the planet's changing, we're changing, and yes, it's like being on a roller coaster, isn't it? And I think wherever you are, if you're tuned in, I think you're going to feel that energy that is bubbling underneath. And there's, as I say, there's wars, and there's earthquakes and volcanoes erupting and floods and mountains collapsing. There's a mountain just collapsed in Blatten in Switzerland, and so there's so much going on. And then there's all the political uh, malarkey going on as well. So. But I have mentioned before that the outer planets are all changing signs this year, along with Pluto, that's already moved out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. And Neptune and Saturn have just moved into Aries at the end of May. And they're going to stay in Aries for a few months. And then they go retrograde in July, and they transit back into Pisces in September and October before finally moving into Aries again next February. So that fluctuating energy we're also going to feel as well. And when planets move into a new sign for a short while, we get a flavor of that energy. And we can, on the world stage, we'll feel it when they move, but obviously they're also moving in our own chart into new signs as well. So it affects everybody. But on a personal level, it depends whereabouts in your chart that you've got that movement. So Saturn actually has not been in Aries for almost 30 years, because Saturn takes that long to go around our chart, or around the sun. So, and Neptune, however, has a longer orbit of 165 years. So it's that long since Neptune was here in Aries. And Aries is about new beginnings. It's an initiator, and really does not want to stand still. And if you've got anybody that you know that's an Aries, they will have those qualities. Um, so Saturn obviously rules structure and form. You must have heard me talking about that. So building something that's likely to last and stand the test of time. And Neptune, however, has no form, but is needed for the visionary qualities. And these two planets are going to bring about the much needed changes that are so important right now. And we can see how many good things are being planned already. Especially if you're listening and looking at alternative media, not mainstream. So, for us to have this new world, we have to have the top down structures collapse. So, we can replace them with a fairer society for us all. And the people in high places really are just playing their part in it all. And I know that's a difficult concept to get your head around. But I remember Laura Eisenhower, the great great granddaughter of President Eisenhower, who's an astrologer and a mystic, really, her saying that in 2020. And I do believe that we are all playing our part. We have a part to play, they have a part to play in this transformation. So it kind of makes it feel a little bit easier, because obviously, we feel angry and upset about what's happening, which is only natural because we've got emotions, we're emotional people. So when we look at this Saturn Neptune energy, it covers a wide range of possibilities in different areas of life, and it can bring about a change in how we entertain people, because Neptune is all, it relates to um, composing music or writing or film or putting a kind of fairy tale together or a story together or anything like that. So film, TV, photography, writing, playing and composing music, using the structure of Saturn and the imagination, the intuition, and the inspiration of Neptune. So I think that's very positive, actually. I have two granddaughters who are one's doing performing arts and one's doing film and TV. So they're kind of these, youngsters that are kind of um, setting the scene for the future, aren't they? And um, those two granddaughters are actually in the UK, but I have a granddaughter here who also wants to be an actress. She's half Thai and half English. So I have three granddaughters who all want to be, performing. So I do feel they're part of the new era that will come through with new and innovative things, imagination and intuition and all that, inspiration, all that kind of thing. They will use. They're already using, um, especially one of them. So hopefully music too, as we know it, it's really, really important. We know when we sing, because I sing, it kind of lightens you, it makes you, I kind of connect to something higher. And when you hear music, you also feel the same. Lots of music from the past brings back memories, doesn't it? And you have those pictures in your mind, which is also Neptune. But again, you need the form to put it together, to put the pictures together. Um, but I just wanted to say that the music, if you've been listening to Mark Devlin, it's been changed so hopefully the music, which we know is important for us, will go back to 432 hertz, which is a healing energy, and not 440 hertz, which is actually discordant for us. So I know you can hear the 432. It's not 440 everywhere. It's more with the put together stuff, and I know when I hear it, I feel unsettled and discordant. So that's one area, and another area is likely to be connected to healing. And there's already a massive amount of information being discussed on podcasts and YouTube about new ways of healing, or perhaps they're very old ways returning. We don't know. I have put a link to a video um, about structured water and about the healing links of that. So I think you'll find that quite interesting. And some of the healing arts are traditional, old ways that are coming back. In fact, uh, we're actually seeing a naturopath which uses herbs, and he told me the herbs were, very ancient, like thousands of years old, and these herbs heal the body. So, I'd rather have something like that help me than a pharmaceutical. And I think you can find these people, and we used to heal like that, 100 years ago or more, or before. That's what everybody used. They used the plants, they used, you know, um, dot leaves well, we did when we were kids, dot leaves if you got stung by nettles and stuff like that. So, looking at the future, new technologies are also being discussed and are available. I've actually got a P90 machine, an Ollie Life. You could look that up, Google it, which is a recent invention, which we use every day, and also sound healing, using the solfeggio tones is becoming very popular. Many people are training in the solfeggio tones and how you can heal with them. I actually have an app on my phone for them, so I can put them on, and put my earphones on and listen. So then there's the med beds, which have been talked about endlessly, and we all hope that they will come to fruition and become mainstream in the not too distant future. And actually, the P90 is a bit of a forerunner of that, because it is about vibration, and that can heal again, a bit like the solfeggio. So then there's the spiritual connection of these two planets. Many people say that God is within us, and that's what I think. Um, but not everybody will think that. They won't be able to get their head around it. But I kind of know what that means. And we know meditation and movement is a good example, like yoga, Tai Chi, and Qigong, which are all meditation in movement. Again, bringing in the Saturn for the exercise and the forming of the body, and Neptune, which is this, bringing the meditation in as you do it. It's that gentle energy. So if you're with someone who doesn't want to change, they're going to drop away. So you can expect changes in your relationships, even in your career. If you don't feel it aligns with you spiritually, uh, in your inner core, then you will look to something else, and your life will become very different, which is necessary as we move into new ways of living and being. So this is a good time to plant new seeds for the future. So those two planets, are going to kind of be doing a dance together. So, for months. So think about those three things. Think about how you could maybe use that in your own life. So Uranus will finally leave Taurus. I will be glad, because it's giving me a rough time, in July, and it'll move into Gemini and will be there for 8 years. So Uranus in Gemini is quite different, because Taurus with Earth, but Gemini is obviously ruled by Mercury, and it's also about communication. And Uranus is unusual, it's untraditional, it's eccentric, it's, not the norm. So when it's in Gemini, there'll probably be new ways of communicating. It probably will connect to the I would think. But it probably will also bring change and disruption again, because that's what Uranus does. People will speak out, will not put up with being told what to do, I think. The structures that rule our world are going to change. The people that are wanting to change the world for the better, they will probably be very innovative with their ideas. There'll be a lot more freedom, because Uranus rules freedom. How we communicate and how we learn will be explored as well, and lots of new ideas, as the world says, enough is enough. And the forming of new groups and organizations, which is already taking place. Uh, but more of that is likely, along with maybe new school education, which it does not encourage critical thinking. Uh, it doesn't it doesn't encourage individuality. It doesn't, encourage the individual. It doesn't look at the individual. So this is what Uranus is about. So all that is about to change. Change is a good word for Uranus. And we also may connect to other galaxies and the species that live out there. And again, I've put another video link, um, so you know about that, which I think you'll find quite interesting. So, as if that wasn't enough, Jupiter will move into Cancer for a year on the 10th of June. Jupiter stays in a sign for about a year. And again, it depends on what area of your chart the Jupiter is moving through. But Jupiter is happy in the sign of Cancer as it's exalted. And this means that its positive qualities and also its influence are amplified. Jupiter brings us opportunities for success and connects to foreigners, other cultures, foreign travel, also the law, also sport. It's also connected to higher learning, philosophy, or teaching. It's about broadening the mind. So, but it's in Cancer, and Cancer's about the home and the roots. So we will feel it's important to get the home and where we belong right, especially on a personal level. And many people are moving. It's like mass exodus, moving from one part of the world to the other. And this is all part of the change, really. And I think, again, Uranus can be quite, going back to Uranus can be quite sudden, so you might suddenly make your mind up when the Uranus moves into Gemini, and then you've got this Jupiter moving into Cancer, where you'll really want to find a retreat somewhere that you can feel at peace. So, if that's happening to you, then, go with it and go with your intuition and your gut feeling. So looking at the full moon, which is going to be on the 11th of June, is going to be in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. And we know that Jupiter is what we call a planet that brings us opportunities. I don't know whether you've got any friends who are Sagittarius. I've had friends who are Sagittarius. I always find them very supportive and encouraging. And I love that energy. If you've got somebody that does that, it feels really good because it feels as though they're invested in you and what you want. So this full moon is going to bring opportunities and expansion. Again, I said Jupiter and Sag, that's about maybe like long distance travel, an interest in other cultures, how they operate. This is a fire energy and it loves adventure, although it can go over the top and regret it later. So it's important not to do too much or take on too much because you could regret it. And Chiron and Mars and the Moon are all in fire signs, and they make a grand trine in this chart. So the fire element in astrology is associated with passion, enthusiasm, boldness, and a love of life. And the grand fire trine amplifies these qualities, making, people natural leaders, charismatic communicators, and adventurous explorers. That's all connected. So the positive, the positive aspects. It can lead to a natural talent, a strong sense of self personally, if you've got a grand trine in fire. A desire for growth, a desire for to work on the inner you for personal development, and they have a natural ability to attract opportunities. And actually, I have very strong Jupiter and Sagittarius in my chart, and I've always felt looked after because of that. You always feel like you've got somebody on your shoulder. And so if you are a Sagittarius or your chart and you've got a strong Jupiter, do you feel like that? perhaps let me know in the comments. But anyway, individuals can be creative or express, what they want to do, and they seek out experiences that, allow them to be adventurous, really. So the ruler Jupiter, ruling the moon, is conjunct Mercury, ruling the sun, the ruler of Gemini, where the sun is at the moment. So this brings an even stronger energy, and Jupiter and Mercury are square the Saturn and the Neptune, which can bring its own challenges, especially I think around the world. So these three planets actually, as I said, will dance together on and off till December. So, we have to, I don't know, keep on a path that we've chosen and not be pushed off it. So this transit can feel like a time of um, where old beliefs and structures are challenged. No, not thinking that I don't actually believe that. I've always believed it, but I don't believe it anymore. And new beliefs have been formed in its place. So it's a period of questioning, transformation, and it has the potential for a more grounded and spiritually aligned approach to life, I think. But obviously, during this time, it's crucial to stay grounded, as I've said, in one's plans while remaining open to change and finding a balance between being practical and being intuitive, structure with the Saturn and flexibility with the Neptune. And this can help this powerful transit. So this Saturn Neptune square with Jupiter's influence in this full moon is a call to action and a reminder that even in times of uncertainty, there is always an opportunity for growth and transformation. Um, Jupiter and Neptune can be over idealistic, and so you have to watch out for that. Sometimes we can put people on a pedestal, making them out something they're actually not. Um, and looking at Ceres, which rules grain and food, is also next to the Neptune and Saturn. So this could help the food situation around the world. This alignment highlights the need to bring our dreams into reality. Uh, it again, Ceres's influence adds a focus on and nurturing the deeper aspects of ourselves, um, and having faith. And the black moon Lilith is at 8 degrees of Scorpio in this full moon chart and is square its ruler, Pluto. So another challenge. It's not going to be easy. Pluto never is. But it's time to think what is important to us. And the Black Moon Lilith will not be pushed around. So this, although a strong, powerful energy is necessary for us to stand up and be countered. And this happens on the 12th of June, just at the same time as the full moon, well, a few hours afterwards. So its influence is in that full moon chart. So we have lots of volcanoes erupting and avalanches and also earthquakes too. And the sun is very active and it's affecting all the seismic activity on the earth. So we can expect more of the same floods, which we have now in actually Thailand, where I am. It should be summer here, but we have a very, very early rainy season, which is 2 months early. I'm actually not worried because it's cooled it down. It's quite nice, and I don't mind a bit of rain. It's kind of not cold and horrible like it is in the UK. Anyway, on the 21st of June, we have the summer solstice, which is one of my favourite times of year, especially if I'm in the UK, because it's the longest day and it's the most amount of light. The Sun in Cancer is conjunct Jupiter in this chart, in the Cancer, which gives us again opportunities and optimism, but they do square the Sun and Neptune, so it may not be all plain sailing. As you can see, we have lots going on, which will continue. So it's important that we take care of ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. Make sure you have the right people around you and take the time out to enjoy, the time with those that you love, especially as it's the summer in the UK. Um, just get out there, connect to the earth, walk barefoot, enjoy the birds, the trees, and just, yeah, relax. And the flowers are always beautiful. Um, on the 20th, the sun moves out of Gemini and into Cancer. So that is a time to focus on your emotional needs, to spend time in comfortable places and with people who support you, and to strengthen yourself internally over the next month. You may want to work on getting a project going, because Cancer is a cardinal sign. It's an organizer, it's a doer. So think about that. And on the 25th, we have the new moon in Cancer. So with the new moon in Cancer, again, this is going to connect to your emotions, and you can feel motivated. You can feel take action based on how you're feeling, and you can pursue opportunities for improvements at home or with the family, and you can feel more secure. That's all kind of Cancer traits. If you know any Cancerians, they do love their home and family. Usually love baking. They're very caring, and so it is a nice time of year. So the moon obviously is conjunct Jupiter, and so in astrology, a moon Jupiter conjunction signifies a positive and harmonious combination that can bring about benefits like good fortune, and it suggests people are more inclined towards being generous. It also brings wisdom and a strong moral compass. So it also enhances a person's intuition, spiritual awareness, and that can lead to a deeper connection with their inner self. And they may have a quest for knowledge and understanding. Emotions are likely to be upbeat. Remember, this is a new moon, so it's time to plan for the next 28 days. So, time to perform a new moon ritual, write down your goals, what you want to achieve in the next 28 days. So, I hope June is good for you and that you make the most of it. As usual, there are some video links below. I've mentioned a couple, and if you feel like sharing them with other people, that would be great. And as there is so much Jupiterian energy, the affirmation, which I can't quite get because my cursor's messing about. I don't know why it does this. I'm sorry about this. Um, I'm supported by my friends and family in all that I do. It's very short, but I think it connects to the whole month of June where we have so much Jupiterian energy flying around. And I think if you've got that energy around you, it'll be fantastic. And I think if you say, I am supported by my friends and family in all that I do, it kind of covers that. So, hand on heart, every day, every morning before you start the day. And you know where I am, my YouTube channel, you're obviously watching right now, and Facebook is Astrology Sue's Lecture, and my website is astrologysue.com. So you can send me a message on there, and don't forget my courses. If you want to learn astrology, I have a course on Udemy, That's Udemy, and you can watch the first few videos for free to see if you like the way I teach. And also, I have one on Lilith, the Black Moon Lilith, um, and that is really worth looking at if you're interested in Lilith and want to know more about her and her energy. And I also do a course on how to change your life. And that includes 6 weeks tutoring, handouts, 2 one-to-ones with me, a chart reading, and a vocation report. It's amazing, and I've had such good feedback from it. So if you want to change your life and you want some help, um, get in touch. I hope you have a great June. If you're going away, enjoy it and relax and connect to the earth, and don't live in fear, live in love. So I'm going to say again, bye for now. Bye bye.